Hello, here is a question for Primary 6 on speed. Lisa started traveling from town P towards town Q at 7 a.m. After traveling for some time, she passed Cici, who was traveling at an average speed of 80 kilometers per hour in the opposite direction. After traveling for another 2 hours, Lisa reached town Q while Cici was still 40 kilometers away from town P. A. If Lisa reached town Q at 1 p.m., what was her average speed? B. If Cici started her journey from town Q, at what time did she leave town Q? We will first highlight all the important facts to help us solve the problem. So we have 7 a.m. average speed of 80 kilometers per hour, 2 hours, 40 kilometers, 1 p.m. Next, we will draw a timeline with the information that we know. So this would be P, and this is Q. Cici starts at town Q at 80 kilometers per hour. So we have Cici traveling at 80 kilometers per hour. S for Cici, L for Lisa, and Lisa started from town P at 7 a.m. At a certain point, Lisa passed Cici, so we shall call the point X. After traveling for 2 hours, Lisa reached town Q. So from X to Q, for Lisa it would be 2 hours. After traveling for 2 hours, Lisa reached town Q. So this is 2 hours. If Lisa reached town Q at 1 p.m., so this is 1 p.m., that means when Lisa passed Cici 2 hours earlier at point X, the time would be 1 p.m. minus 2 hours, and that would be 11 a.m. So at point X, it would be 11 a.m. That means the time taken by Lisa to reach point X from town P would be 11 a.m. minus 7 a.m. and that would give us 4 hours. So from here right up to X, this would be 4 hours. We also know that After both of them have traveled for 2 hours, when Lisa had reached town Q, Cici was still 40 kilometers away from P. So this would be, we shall call this point Y, and between point Y and town P, it would be 40 kilometers. And while Lisa traveled from X to Q, and she took 2 hours, Cici was traveling from X to Y, and she also took 2 hours. So this would be 2 hours too. For Cici. Based on this information and timeline, we can therefore write our first statement. So using Cici's speed, we can actually find the distance between X and Y. So distance between X and Y would be 80 kilometers per hour times by 2 hours, and this would give us 160 kilometers. Based on this, we can also find the distance between P and X. So distance between town P and point X is therefore 40 kilometers plus 160 kilometers, and this would give us 200 kilometers. This is the distance between town P and X. Using this information, we can therefore find Lisa's average speed, because Lisa traveled 4 hours to cover 200 kilometers if you look at the timeline again. From here to here is 4 hours, and this equals to 200 kilometers. So 200 kilometers over 4 hours will give us 50 kilometers per hour. So your statement for A would be Lisa's average speed is 50 kilometers per hour. For question B, using Lisa's speed and time as clues, we know that if Lisa took 4 hours to travel 200 kilometers, therefore the distance traveled in 2 hours would be 2 hours over 4 hours multiplied by 200 kilometers, and this will give us 100 kilometers. So where is 100 kilometers? This would be the distance between town Q and point X. So it would be here. So Lisa took 2 hours to cover 100 kilometers. Based on this information, we can therefore find the time taken or the time at which Cici left town Q. How do we find this? Now we know that Cici traveled at 80 kilometers per hour. So at 80 kilometers per hour, to travel 100 kilometers, Cici would take the distance over the average speed, and this would give us 1 1/4 hours, which is also equal to 1 hour 15 minutes. This refers to the time taken to travel 100 kilometers from point X to town Q. Now if Lisa and Cici pass each other at point X at 11 a.m., let us now draw another simple timeline to find out the time when Cici started traveling from town Q. So we'll have another timeline. This is Cici at point Q. This is point X. And if this is 11 a.m., we shall compute the time backwards. So 1 hour 15 minutes would be 10 a.m. for 1 hour, and for 15 minutes the time would be 9:45 a.m. So your statement for question B would be Cici started her journey from town Q at 9:45 a.m. Thank you.